Imagine 10,000 venomous insects unleashed inside a living room. It's a localized hurricane of wings and stingers, turning a domestic space into absolute chaos. This panic isn't a reaction to the house itself. The bees are frantic because somewhere in this room, they have been separated from their queen. To understand this crisis, view the hive as a superorganism. They function as a single neural network, bound by the queen's central hub. When her signal vanishes, the system crashes, and collective intelligence dissolves into aimless panic. Without that connection, the hive is no longer a society. It is a dying organism fighting to rediscover its identity before the clock runs out. The first step in the rescue is capturing the queen and placing her inside the cabinet. Because bees cannot fly in the dark, the attempt has to wait for nightfall to minimize the risk of a mass breakout. Initial attempts to physically scoop the workers into the hive fail. The pressure triggers their defensive instincts, causing them to swarm the lights, the camera lenses, and the beekeeper. Success depends on fanning. Workers plant their feet and beat their wings, broadcasting the queen's invisible scent into the room. As scent waves hit the swarm, erratic flight paths align with the pheromone lines, tracing back to the source. The stinging storm vanishes. In its place, 10,000 bees drop to the floor and begin a unified, rhythmic march directly into the cabin entrance. This coordinated movement is the hive's primal intelligence in action. Their survival relies on an absolute chemical allegiance to their leader. Inside the cabinet, the colony begins to build. The queen lays her first foundational eggs, marking the start of a new indoor empire. But a new hive is a target. Armored hive beetles soon infiltrate the cabinet, specifically seeking out and consuming the defenseless eggs. The beetles are only the beginning. A nearby wasp colony soon discovers the hive and launches a brute force invasion, breaching the entrance with overwhelming speed. The wasps are built for predatory combat. On the floor of the cabinet, the honeybees are trapped in a massacre, physically outmatched by the larger invaders. To save the colony, the bees abandon the fight and employ their ultimate defense. They interlock their bodies to form a dense sacrificial wall, a living shield surrounding the queen. The wasps eventually leave, but the aftermath is devastating. The colony is nearly extinct, with thousands of dead workers littering the hive floor. In a display of high intelligence, the survivors begin to build a graveyard. They systematically carry their dead away from the brood, respecting the fallen even in their weakened state. This period of mourning and cleanup comes at a cost. The hive's productivity stalls, leaving them vulnerable to the one threat they cannot fight. The Varroa destructor mite thrives on weakened hives. Once the first mite attaches to a host, its population grows at an exponential rate. This invisible decay drains the remaining bees. As the mite population spikes, healthy workers crash toward zero. Between the losses from the wasp attack and the drain of the parasites, the colony has reached a tipping point. They can no longer replace dying members fast enough to sustain the hive. With the hive on the verge of collapse, the beekeeper intervenes. The weapon of choice is an oxalic acid vaporizer. This intervention is high stakes. The acidic vapor is deadly to the mites, but if miscalculated, these corrosive fumes will wipe out the remaining bees. The operation is a success. Dozens of dead mites are cleared from the floor, leaving the queen and her remaining workers free from the parasitic drain. Released from the weight of the infestation, the hive's instincts reboot. The survivors immediately pivot from survival to aggressively nurturing the next generation of eggs. The life cycle accelerates from larva to pupa, until finally, the first new worker chews through her cocoon and takes her place in the hive. Over the next 60 days, this recovery turns into a population explosion. The colony outgrows the cabinet and is finally moved outdoors, where they can forage in their natural habitat. The honey they eventually produce is a physical monument to this resilience. It is the result of a superorganism that, once freed from parasites, successfully rebuilt its empire from the ashes of a massacre.